Welcome, 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 everybody. I'm here with amazing, talented coach Alex, and we're here to share a success story so that if you're watching this and if you're wondering, how could I feel better in my business, increase my business, show up as a true leader? I say I work with leaders that are soulful, impactful, and rich without overwhelm. So if this is you, I'd like you to spend maybe 10-15 minutes with us. You're going to see how we work together and the amazing success that Alex has produced in his business. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Alex says, I'd like for you to introduce yourself first and let our audience know who are you, where are you based, and what do you do?
I am a health coach, and I've been doing it for about 8+ years now. I've been trying to grow the business for the longest while into my dream business, into operating it, virtually and the way that I've desired for a very long time. And I can say that probably over the past year or 2 years, I've had probably my most substantial growth financially as well as professionally. So I'm just glad to still be here and making it happen.
Beautiful. And do you want to share with the audience in which beautiful part of the world you are?
Yes, I live in Bermuda, the island of
Fantastic.
Bermuda, right in the Atlantic Ocean.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Alex, we worked together for the Divine Men Code. And can you remember where you were starting from? I know we worked together a while, but can you remember when you reached out to me? How were you feeling in your life, in your business? And what made you reach out?
Yeah. Well, one thing I've always noticed is I've always been an optimist, right? I've always had a positive mindset in terms of anything, in terms of life, period. When it came to the business, I found that I was at times probably getting in the way of my own success, believing the greater thing, believing all of the positive outcomes that were going to happen. However, I don't believe I was always doing the right work to make that happen. So in such a sense, there was this belief system that I had, but the work that I was doing wasn't fully aligned with how I wanted to operate the business. So I felt that I needed to, create a shift. COVID had happened, the worldwide pandemic, and that was an eye opener for me. I had to close my office, get rid of the brick and mortar. It was a curse and a blessing at the same time, because I believe it opened up doors of new opportunity. So at the time that we started working together, well, one, I decided to because I felt that there was something more I should be doing. I felt that there was more for me to know and understand, and also to help shift my belief system so that I can see better progress.
Thank you. And at that time, you were still seeing clients one-to-one, right?
I was seeing clients one-to-one, yeah. So after getting rid of the office, I was doing more virtual visits and home visits, which was working. And I think at that time as well, I had to really rethink of the structure of the business and how to keep it surviving in such an era. And throughout that process, was a lot of trying to figure things out on my own. And I realized that, what, I just can't do this on my own. I needed to seek some help. I needed some assistance.
Thank you. And I remember when you reach out, I say, yeah, let's work on the Divine Men Code activation. You said, I never worked with a healer. What does it mean? And I remember bravely you jumped. You took that leap of faith and you said, I'm not ready, but I will do it anyway, because I'll never be ready. And this is something I really want to praise you for and commend you for, because this is one of the most limiting blocks for people between where they are in their success story, is that I'm not ready, whether it's time-wise, financially, emotionally wise. But you decided, I know nothing about this woman. I know nothing about this program. I'm going to jump. So how was it? How was the program for you? How was this developing, enveloping, and unraveling of things that happened
Yeah.
to you?
Well, firstly, let me say it was more or less a feeling, this deep intuitive feeling that, what, this was the right person to work with. I didn't have all the answers, as I mentioned. So I knew I needed some assistance. But one thing about choosing something that you feel is right for you is that if intuitively deep down inside that, hey, this is something that I need to do, and this is the right person that I need to connect with, without question, without thinking about it too much, and there's that feeling, sometimes you just got to go for it. So I decided to take that leap of faith, and just see what was going to be revealed from that.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm so glad that you talk about intuition. And this is for all the girls out there that say men are not as intuitive as women. I like to defer. And Alex, here, you just proved my point. So thank you. Men are strongly intuitive. And if you look at your relationship, let's talk about breakthroughs. What would you say was your biggest breakthrough, since we worked together?
Geez, if I were to put it to, it's probably a few things. I had a lot of aha moments with you. I think one of the things were separating myself from my circumstances, separating myself from my current finances, and taking a look in to see where I am, right, in external shoes. And one thing, doing that on your own is not as easy, but the way that you guided me was quite insightful, and it helped me to just, I guess, see things more clearly, because when we're in our circumstance or whatever it is, sometimes our eyes and our judgment is clouded, but the way in which you did your work was, yeah, it was just interesting. I just about put words to it, because it was definitely something outside of the box for me, something different, in terms of like looking in at the pool of my life and of my finances. And things weren't horrible, but I had to kind of step out and look in to see what my blocks were. And you helped me to visualize that quite differently and vividly. And having that insight and those breakthroughs really just kind of set me up for the work that needed to be done further with you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. So if we look at your relationship, and we're very practical, because I say my work is mystical and practical, right? We just go as deep in the spirituality as people want, but we're also very, very practical. So if we look at numbers or percentage, if we look at your relationship with money, how is that relationship changed as money as a thing, an element, and how much more of it did you make?
Yeah, well, around the belief component of it, or at least the way that I see money, it's definitely different now than it was before. I think before I was more or less in this mode of discipline and get it and get it and get it and hustle and hustle and hustle. And that's draining. It's very draining. You're pushing yourself, you're tiring yourself out, you're thinking about the money all the time. That's really no way to live. It can be a bit stressful. So in terms of where I am now and the work we've done to help me get here was really to see it differently in the essence of abundance, not just financially, but in terms of my life, in terms of who I am, in terms of taking each step in faith and living in abundance and believing that, I am already abundance. And that mental, and I guess you can say spiritual shift, again, kind of just sets a path of opportunity. And I think once those doors open, it just allowed me to, instead of discipline, it allowed me to flow more with ease and attract money with ease versus the hustle. So that's one big thing that kind of stands out to me.
Beautiful. And in terms of the growth, would you say, the money didn't change that much, or did you see?
I saw substantial growth, even though it hasn't been as consistent as I know it could be. It's definitely more consistent than it used to be. And one of my highest grossing months hit up to about 15, almost 15K in a month. And that just showed me what was really possible. And to me, I believe that's kind of more or less on the lower end of the spectrum. So, it just goes to show what's really possible when you do the work, when you walk in faith, and just go in with a different mindset.
Beautiful. And I love that you mentioned this word faith, because I looked through our notes and without revealing too much, faith was in there. And you said that one of the intention for working together was to have more faith and have more confidence in yourself. And I would say that you got it. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you
And
want to talk a little bit about how this confidence shift happened and also this faith all of a sudden is there to accompany you now?
yeah, it's definitely been a work in progress. It's not something that happened overnight. However, each session that we had and the activities that we done together just helped me to, like, each time I stepped away from our session, it just I walked away with on a higher level. I walked away with more belief, with more confidence, and yeah, with more abundance, I guess you can say. So I always find it just amazing how, even though sometimes we do the work and we believe we're doing the right things, because a lot of us have done other programs as well. We've taken in a lot of information, and we've leveled up in terms of knowledge. But the knowledge is nothing if you don't have that belief system. It's kind of like a twofold. So what you help me to do is kind of intertwine those two, and from there you start to see the abundance just happen. So that's probably just one thing that really stands out in terms of like combining those two elements.
Beautiful. And I also want to share another of your success, that was you wanted to move from in person to virtual, right? And I remember at the beginning there was this idea that it would be so hard, and who would like to sign up online, especially because you offer a lot of health and sometimes physical advice, right? So how did that happen for you? And congratulations for making it happen.
Yeah, it was definitely the confidence and the faith. I think when the pandemic hit, as I mentioned, I closed the brick and mortar, I closed the office, which was kind of the universe giving me a push. And then with the assistance of you, working with you, it really just helped me to take that next leap of faith. But also just start to do the work to make that happen as well. And when I say the work, it's really about the choices. I think, let's say prior to you, I always knew what I should have been doing. And that's the thing, like, we always know what we should do, but doing it is a different story. And not just doing it, but being consistent with it. So you've helped kind of encourage me in that regard, and instill all the principles to make that happen. So yeah, I mean, completely from seeing client to client, sitting in the office when someone doesn't show up, you're sitting there waiting, letting time go by, and it was a waste of money, it was a waste of time and energy. But being virtual, there's more of that flexibility. Yeah, you can just do a lot more, and that's part of what I've wanted to accomplish for a very long time, is to be able to be up and move and work from anywhere, and still serve my clients. And yeah, so everything that we've done together has really helped to shape that and make it happen.
Beautiful. And that's also opening up a lot of your time, right? Because you don't have to necessarily
Yes.
be there in
Yeah.
person, and you have an app. Because we believe it.
Yeah, I tell you about my naps. Yeah, gotta get a nap in, right? So and that was one thing I was always crying for, more time. And I think I would like to think I'm not the only person. We all want more time. We all cry for more time. And sometimes there just never seems to be enough. But shifting into this work method, it's really allowed me to have more flexibility and freedom and this time that I've been desiring. So yeah, now I can get my naps.
And would you share why is your app different from, why is it different from going and see a health coach in person versus you could do it through an app, and why that makes you different and unique as well?
Mm-hmm. So can you rephrase the question?
Just tell about the world, how beautiful it is to reach out to you via your app. This is what I'm saying.
Got it. Yeah.
Because ultimately you're serving your clients in a way that is totally unique. You're very supportive, and it's done through a very easy vehicle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it allows my clientele as well the flexibility. I think time is one of the most precious things that we have, and how we use it is what really impacts our life. It's what really shows up in reference to how we experience it. So, having that availability, that freedom, I think just gives us a lot more opportunity and choice to do what we want to do. And what's living a life of not doing what you want to do? So, having approached it this way has really impacted myself and my clients in a big way, in terms of flexibility, in terms of comfort, and in terms of also, still being able to achieve our goals without having to do all of the extraness. When I say extraness, like, driving somewhere and, the weather could be horrible, and, there's always, we always have a to-do list, but how about, shifting that or making your to-do list much more easier, and have much less to do. So, it's, even though it sounds like it may seem like a, very simple thing. Okay, seeing someone in person versus virtual. I think just the difference alone, having experienced it, you can really start to see the impact that it has on your life in a big way.
Beautiful. And can we share as well, because I was seeing it while it was happening, right? That the more you anchored yourself in that faith, in that confidence, the more clients were coming to you. I remember you saying, oh, I forgot, this person, I enrolled this client, that client, this client. And also they started to have really good results, right? I mean, the more you were anchoring this, the more you saw, one, that were coming easily, but at the same time, the one that were coming were really giving you amazing feedback, and that was through the virtual, right? So
yeah, I help my clients in different ways, but one of the primary services I offer is like weight management or weight loss, and just achieving the nice tone body that we're looking for. And doing it virtually has really allowed myself to kind of see how the business can operate differently and easier, with just guiding them in a way that's going to help them to make small steps to their big goals. And having worked with clients for years in person for a long time, yes, I help them, achieve the results, but who would have known that it could still happen virtually to this capacity? So some clients I work out with, or I train, fitness training, and then some I don't. And I think with a lot of people, they feel that they have to do something physical. They have to go to the gym, they have to work out, they have to, break a big sweat to lose weight. You actually don't really have to. There's so many other ways of doing it, or let's just say simpler ways of doing it. So some of my clients actually don't train at all, and they have amazing results, on our virtual platform. And this allows them to, have the tools and and achieve the goals without being in person. So yeah, just that kind of really highlighted to me that, what, this is possible, and it doesn't need to be what we always think it needs to be, and we can in a much simpler way.
beautiful, beautiful. For all of you that New Year resolution to go to the gym, you drop them, get in touch with Coach Alex, because the good news is you don't need to go to the gym if you don't want to. So Alex, thank you so much for this. So let's say you were talking to a colleague and I wasn't here, and he would say to you, what did you do with Alex? Why is she different? What would you say to this person, pretending I'm not listening?
Yeah. For a second, I thought you were saying me as an Alex, but yeah, you're Alex too, right? So,
Yes.
but why work with you? What makes you different? Um, Geez, I think it's it's an energy thing. It's an energy thing. And this is what I mentioned earlier. Like I just felt the connection. I felt I needed to, and I don't get that feeling too often. So if anyone else out there, is listening to your audio or videos, watching your videos, and they feel that connection with you, I think that's a sign. If your words, speak truth and they reach out to us, that is a sign. So what I've experienced differently with you compared to other programs that I've done was just more of a, how would you say, there's been synergy, there's been one-to-one sessions, which you don't often get in a lot of other programs. They're really group-based most times. But we had a lot of one-on-one time. And I think that personalization is so important because you can hear me, you can listen to me, you can give me the attention that I need, you can address my concerns. And I like to walk away feeling accomplished from a session or from a call, not feeling still clueless or wondering, if what I'm doing is right. I can reach out to you at any time. You respond very quickly. And you show up not just during our sessions, but you just show up in many different ways in terms of like supporting me, and answering any questions that I have, and also encouragement and accountability. I think that's really important too. There's one thing, knowing what I have to do, but you holding me accountable and checking up on me, and just ensuring that I'm okay. And I'm glad I mentioned that as well, because at times, we may sometimes slip back into our false beliefs, and confidence. And you help me to see what I've accomplished and what I'm doing, and that this is the work, and that I'm in the right place no matter what. Right. So there's kind of like just, as far as a big difference in summary, there's just a big divine connection, intuitive feeling that, what, this is the right thing, or you are the right person to work with. And that's just what kind of kept us going from day one. And again, like it's allowed me to see the results.
Beautiful. And we're still going. So
Yeah,
more
we are.
results. So it's somebody that, we hear all the time, and I'm sure this is for you as well. I'd love to work with Alex. She's too expensive. We heard that before. I don't, I'm not ashamed to say that. My prices are high, maybe compared to others. Again, what would you tell them? What would you tell them?
Yeah, I mean, when you invest in yourself, you got to man up. You got to man up. You got to man up. So if you're investing small dollars, you're gonna get what you pay for. Oftentimes, a lot of people are trying to find the right thing based on price. You can't live life like that. I'm sorry. When you show up larger in a bigger way, the return is larger. What you get out of it is larger. And again, I had that faith when I invested in you because I knew what I was going to get in return. um, and yeah, so my advice in that regard is just to really man up and invest bigger. When you invest bigger, you get bigger back. You get bigger return. So yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Thank you.
And I think, yeah, of course. I definitely understand. And I think I need to say this as well, because, many of us aren't really in the best place financially, and if we are seeking for financial growth, we sometimes question, well, why should I spend a higher amount if I don't feel I'm there yet? And I think that was like the biggest hurdle of faith right there. Was like, okay, me spending this so I can get out of it. But once you make that choice, you've turned on that light switch in your brain. So you've already set yourself up for success once you invest at that capacity.
Beautiful. And how did you feel during our one-to-one session? Because, in my videos, I could be preachy. I say things as they are. I call people out. So did you feel I was giving you tough love, or you say you felt supported and there was a lot of, how was this
I
one-to-one?
think
Because I
I
feel
think
I'm
there
very
was
different in one-to-one session when you see me on video and I'm on fire.
yeah. I mean it's yeah, you're right, but it's not yeah, I don't even see it as tough love. It just is what it is. Like we need to hear what we need to hear at the end of the day. Like if I've invested in you, I am I've hired you as a professional, so I'm going to listen to you. You know, you are the success story already. I'm seeking the success. I'm trying to achieve the success. So for me, it was just me being open-minded to listen to everything that you have to share and your guidance. So I think you've given me a little bit of everything. You know, you've given me a bit of the what we call tough love. You've given me, you've held space for me. You've helped me to see things more clearly. You've helped me to work through some of the emotional challenges and connections to my beliefs. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's like this. I guess you can kind of say the masculine and feminine energy, mix, right? I think I got the best of both worlds there.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Alex, if somebody want to get in touch with you because they're interested, do you offer consultations initially? How does it work?
Yeah, I offer free consultations. You can always message me. You can find me on Facebook as Alex Dill, or you can go to my website. That's www.primalnation.com, Primal nation.com. And from there, you can fill out a form to send me a message, and then we'll set you up an appointment, free consultation, and we'll talk about your goals, talk about what it is you want to achieve. This can be body goals, this can be lifestyle goals, your wellness, and then we'll hash it out and make it happen for you.
And that's also some emotional support you offer, right?
Yes, I help my clients. So there's the thing of us wanting to achieve our goals, and for a lot of us, it's the body goals, right? We achieve the body goals, we feel more confident, we feel happier. There's a chain effect, there's a domino effect to that. It's not just about looking good; it's about feeling good and feeling connected to our best self. And one of the biggest things that I help people do is navigate life struggles that prevent us from achieving our goals, right? We're trying to get from point A to point B, but there's all the blocks, the roadblocks, in the way that's kind of stops us from getting there. So I help them to kind of navigate that, but also teach them the right tools. Sorry, not the right tools, teach them the right things and give them the right tools to actually get there as well. So this is in terms of nutrition. This is in terms of fitness. This is in terms of me holding you accountable as well. A lot of us need that accountability and guidance and education. So with all of that, it's you have a much better chance of success versus maybe just hiring a trainer just to do training and that's it. So this, you're getting like a 3 to 4 pillar approach to help you make your goals more realistic and achievable.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I know your clients have amazing successes. So, Alex, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been amazing to share space with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody, get in touch if you have more questions for Coach Alex or myself. Put them in the chat. I'll put the link to your website as well in the chat. Lots of love to everybody. Bye, bye,
Bye.
bye.